Hey beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. If this is your first time here, please do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe and like this video. If you press the like button like this, just press the like button. YouTube is going to recommend this video to somebody who is equally looking for something like this, and please believe me, this video is going to help a lot of people. So please press the like button, and if you can share the video to at least one person, it is going to help us a great deal. Thank you so much. So today's video, I want to talk about the issue of proof of funds. I want to address something. Remember, if you've been watching my videos, you would have heard me mention the fact that proof of funds to Canada may look simple, but it is not all about showing the bank statement. For example, if you are sponsoring yourself, then you show the bank that, or you tell IRCC that, or you show them that you have maybe 20 million in your bank account. That is not enough. IRCC might be asking the question, how did this money get into your account? You didn't show them the source of your income. So that is why showing your bank account, and equally, which is the bank statement, and equally showing supporting documents to show how you make money matters a lot when it comes to student visa application to Canada. Now, this is for a particular case. I want to talk about this particular case, then I will elaborate more about some things that you need to know at the extreme end of this video. But first of all, let's start with this. Let's assume that you do not have the money to sponsor yourself, but you've gotten admissions in Canada. Now, your parents have no option rather than to sell their land or sell their house or sell properties, or maybe they don't have an account, but they have something that they can sell to raise the money for you. Now, what are you going to do? What you are going to do in this case is you have to, when they sell that property, of course, they have to now put the money in their account, right? Or in your account. Now, if you're putting the money in your account and you do not have any other business, you don't have anywhere to go to, or you do not have anything to explain to prove where you got the money from, the only thing you have to do now is to tell IRCC, which is the government of Canada, that your parents actually sold a property. Now, when you are telling them that your parents sold a property, remember you are addressing this on the letter of explanation. Now, who has the money in his account? You, your account. If the money is in your account, you print the bank statement. Then you write the letter of explanation and explain to them that they sold a property. And the reason why you are writing this letter of explanation is because, remember, for proof of funds, especially for the bank statement, it must not have a huge sum of money bumped into the account. No. You have to put money slowly, make the account active. That's put money and remove money, put money and remove money. So because you sold a property and you just had, let's say, 6 million goes into that account, IRCC will now be asking a question: how did this person get the money? So you need to explain to them that you sold a property. Now you are explaining to them and you are also showing them your bank statement, but this is not enough. You need to show them documents to prove that you sold that property, and probably show them the person and how the transaction went. All right. Let the money that went into that account at that particular period solely correspond. It should correspond with the money that the property was sold. If you do any other different thing, you are going to get a rejection saying that you have inconsistency in your application, which means that you are mixing up the material, because what you are telling them does not correspond to what they are saying. I hope you understand. This applies to people, those of you who are selling lands, who are selling properties to fund your education. I hope you understand. Make sure all the documents are there, legal documents, and if possible, show them a picture of the land, or maybe show them pictures during the selling process. Who bought the land? The person's identification, is it there? All these things, if you can get them, this is going to help you a lot get your study visa. Those people, or those of you asking me, is there age limit? There is no age limit when it comes to community colleges in Canada. When you are applying for a college, most colleges don't care about your age. They don't care about when you stopped school or when you dropped out of school. What you should focus more on should be, what would the visa officer think about me? So this is where it has to do with decision making and choice of program. I have explained this in many videos. So if you haven't watched those videos, please, I will recommend you watch them again so that you make a decision that is going to be tangible responsible, a decision that can help the process. And remember, if you are working already and you are applying to a college, make sure that the program you want to study correspond or ties with what you are doing. That is, the job you are doing ties with the program you are doing, so you can be able to back it up with the help of documents from your company. I hope you understand. Now take a look at this second part of the video, which explains some of the updates about proof of funds that you should know. Now, international students going to Canada, this is an update I want you to listen to. If you are to move to Canada as a student, please, and you haven't started learning how to drive, or you have not learned how to drive, or you do not know anything, I would encourage you, as you are preparing to move to Canada, start your driving classes as soon as possible. If you are learning how to drive, make sure you are going to get all the legal papers or all the legal documents from the driving school you are learning. Your driver's license is very important. That's document number one. Then your driving record is very, very important as well. So make sure when you are preparing and you are also preparing to move to Canada, you should put this into consideration. Now, the other thing I want to say is that if you have already learned how to drive and you do not have these documents and you are preparing to move to Canada, let's assume that you just applied for a visa, I would advise you to go again the institution that gave you all those documents and get the legal papers. Okay, I mean your driving papers, your driving history, and the driver's license, or they call it the driver's license. Get that license. It is very important, very, very important. Why am I insisting that you should get those documents? In Canada, as an international student, not just Canada, in USA and every other country, but I'm talking specifically Canada because of something I want to say at the end of this video. You need those documents so that when you arrive Canada, it will be easy for you to integrate into their system. Of course, when you get into Canada, they will use their level to assess you. Maybe you would then move, maybe can you do G1 or G2? There is a certain step in driving, something like that. Those who have done it, they know already. They will use it to assess you, and from there, from your driving records or maybe history, you are going to know all of this. If you do not have, no problem, but make sure you know how to drive and make sure you collect the card and you move along with it. It is very, very important. Now, this is the importance of learning how to drive before you move to Canada. In Canada, you are going to be using buses. Let's assume that you are going to school, and from school you need to go for your hustling or your part-time job. When you enter a bus service, remember this bus service doesn't go directly. It has to stop. It has to stop here, stop there, stop over there to take somebody. Right now, let's assume that you enter this bus and you are going to school, and after school you may be wanting to go to your job. This bus may not go directly on time, and let's assume even if you are late, you may still go late for lectures or for classes. That is the first disadvantages of not knowing how to drive in Canada, or if you do not own your own personal car in Canada. But of course, you can start from somewhere, so it's not a must. I am just giving you advice on things you should know and plan further, because preparation is very, very important. Now, remember, if you go to school and after leaving school you need to go for your job, let's assume that you are doing 2 jobs and you have your own car. It's easy to navigate, right? Very quick to move. But if you have to wait for a bus service to take you to the job site, and probably from that job site you are going to another job site, and what if a breakdown happens to the car, or maybe delays, because this car is going to be moving and stopping, or let's say picking other people along the way. So you need to put this into consideration. It is very, very important. That is why I am saying that get your driver's license in case you are to move to Canada. All right, this is just an advice. It is important. And now it's going to help you. If you are going to your job, you will not go late. If you are going to school, you cannot go late, and preparation is key. Now, there are some documents. These are things I want you to put into consideration. There are some documents. Well, somebody recently entered Canada, and we were battling, and this individual did not actually know what to take. Now, these are the documents you need to hold on you. Do not put them in the luggage area, and do not put them in your valise or bag or whatsoever you call it. Make sure you hold these documents with you when navigating or when moving abroad or when moving to Canada, it is important. First, there is a letter that will be sent to you, the correspondence letter. Print this letter and hold it like an A4, like this. Hold the paper on you, all right, in a file before you move. It should be beside your international passport, and it should be beside your official acceptance letters. And of course, if there is any payment, this letter should also be beside the payment receipt. It is very important. As for an international student, this is for students only, but for workers, you can still have all those papers assigned to you. If you are going as a worker, it's still very good. If you are going as a visitor, still very okay. Permanent residents, the same thing. Driving in particular in Canada is going to help you a lot, but these are the documents international students should hold on them. When you go, again, another thing I would like to emphasize on those of you working with people or agents, make sure if you have a visa, tell them to give you the login details of your IRCC account. IRCC account login details is very important. Do not go and face the Immigration Canada without the details of this website. They may ask you to open your IRCC account to show them what, especially if you are going very early or if you are going very late when your program have not started or if your program had already started. I hope you understand. So please make sure you have the login details of your account, so in case they ask you to open your portal, your IRCC portal, to show them if it's actually you should open immediately without wasting a lot of time. This is another thing. Remember, when you go into Canada, for you to be legal or maybe for you to study, of course, when you are passing the airport, you are going to answer a lot of questions, and after that you are going to get what is called your study permit, right? Workers working permit, and visitors, of course, same thing. They are going to pass. For visitors, they don't have anything like a working permit or a study permit, but for students, you are going to pass. They will give you a study permit, and when you go into Canada, try to get your SIN, which is the social insurance number. With this social insurance number and alongside your international passport, or let me say, for you to get the social insurance number, you need your international passport and of course your study permit. These are the two things you need to get the social insurance number. Okay, now you are going to still use this social insurance number, sorry, there's the student permit and your international passport to get your phone number. All right, and when you get your phone number, another thing I will advise you to do is to open your own personal bank account and of course get your credit card and build your credit score. There is something called credit card and credit score. You are going to find a lot of videos online explaining that. It is very important in case you want to buy anything, a car or buy a house in Canada. Make sure you are building that score. If there is too much money on it, do not consume it because it might put you in trouble. Just keep building the score. It's going to help you in a later stage while you are still in Canada. I hope you understand. Now, for those of you who are asking me of the shortest possible pathway to immigrate to Canada, please, the study route is the easiest to get, looking at the days. Second option to immigrate to Canada, if you meet the requirements, which are a bachelor's degree and of course 3 years working experience, is called the PR pathway, which is the permanent resident pathway. And of course the last one is the working options in case you have an employment contract from an employer. So you need to look into all these methods and see which one actually fits you, or which one you actually fit in, or which one you qualify for, then you go for it. Looking at your budget as well is very important, because some people may meet all both requirements, but they may not have too much money to prove or to show for proof of funds when it comes to study visa application. So in this case, I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that the government of Canada is thinking, or is actually putting measures to reduce the rate at which they are going to grant student visas in the years to come in Canada, because according to them, they say that it is due to the shortage of housing. They want to limit the rate at which international students move to Canada because their housing is at stake. Yeah, I hope you understand. So these are the details you need to put into consideration now. More videos are going to be dropping very soon, so please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. It is very important for us. Till we meet again in another video, I remain your host. See you in another one. But before I go, please, have you subscribed? The subscribe button is found below here. Click that button and make sure you turn on the bell so that when I post the next one, you would be the first to watch. Thank you so much, guys.